On
Yes.
behalf of Electronics and Instrumentation Department, organizing a guest lecture on angel investment and venture capital funding opportunities for early stage entrepreneurs. This guest lecture given by Dr. N. Mohan Garu. Sir will be introduced by S.V. Srikesh sir from the VR Siddhartha TBI.
Yeah. Yes, madam. Thank you, madam. Good morning to all the students and respected sir of today's event. Introducing about the today's speaker is Dr. N. Ram Mohan Garu, who is the retired Chief Manager of Indian Bank and is also with the faculty of the Staff Training College of Indian Bank. Sir has served in different capacities up to the level of Chief Manager till he was retirement, and sir is now serving as a freelancing consultant in the areas of banking, finance, and management, and related to behavioral sciences. With his vast experience, he has dealt with many organizations in disbursement of the loans and the requirements of the loan requirements for the projects. So today's session is how he will be briefing about the funding requirements and what are the requirements for the projects where that requires funding. Sir, over to Mr. Ramohan, sir.
Thank you,
Yeah, Mr.
Venkat.
Ram.
Thank you, Venkat. I am there. So we will start.
Madam, can you please give the host controls to sir, madam, with regard to presentation?
Am I audible and
Yes,
visible?
yes, madam. You are audible, sir.
I am audible.
1 minute.
I am also visible.
Yes, sir. You are visible, sir.
Right. Then, dear participants, there is a good number, close to a century, 92 participants are there. It's a very nice thing. And what I understand from Venkat, I call him Venkat. Three case I am omitting. Abbreviation short is sweet. I keep saying, sharing. Short is sweet, small is beautiful. Then I understand from Venkat that lot many BTech students are here, particularly from third year, and also few of India students are here. It's a very good group. Now I begin with a little introduction, a preamble before I enter into the mainstream, that each person, each human being has to set a goal for himself or herself in life and pursue the goal and achieve it. This is one thing. Before that, I request all of you to kindly keep a notebook with you. Student community particularly, have a notebook with you or a bunch of papers. Or if you are writing, you are all millennials born in this millennium. Even if you are noting in your mobile phone also, there is no problem for me. Anyway, out of what I talk for about an hour from here, thereafter for a little time for question answers, whatever is interesting and whatever is useful, kindly make a note of it. And the benefit of making a note is that you can, what you call, revive it, go through it at periodical intervals at required frequencies, so that that gets strengthened in your brain. That is the thing. Oh, Venkat, one more thing. Are we recording this session? If there is a possibility
I think
of recording, you may record it. Otherwise, also no issue from my side. But if it is recorded, it is better. Yeah. Now, all of us, irrespective of gender, we all get become major at the age of 18. Now, what is the significance of becoming a major on completing the age of 18 years and not becoming a major, that is remaining as a minor up to the age of 18? Is that when we do not follow certain laws of the country, we say law of the land or law of the country, the punishment for the majors will be more. For the minors, it will be less. It is a correctional punishment for the minors, but it's a hard punishment for the majors. So law of the land we need to know, number first point. But how many laws a commoner should know? We are all commoners, you, me. Apart from that, we are commoner plus, in the sense we also hold a profession. So whatever profession, even studentship also, I take it as a profession or work, whatever you are doing apart, over and above the commoner, these two laws, group one law, commoner, irrespective of any education, knowledge, earning or not earning, being born in a country like India, the Indian laws that are applicable to them, they should know, number one. Number two, as a professional, whatever professional work you are pursuing, the work-related laws. For example, you are all students. You should know about the NEP policy. It's not an act, it's a policy. National Education Policy 2020. I do not know how many of you are aware of it. So certain policies of the government, over the policies you have acts, this we should know. Law of the land, that is one thing. Then you reverse this 81, 18, you get 81. For quick, easy remembrance, otherwise instead of 81, I can take 82 or 80, whatever. But for quick relativity, 18, if you reverse 81, you subtract 18 from 81, you get 63 years. At the age of 18, irrespective of gender, there are certain things gender specific. There are various things which are common to both of the genders, and a lot of women empowerment is taking place across the world, more particularly in India, in the last approximately 30-40 years. And now a day may come in the future where they take a prime seat and males may be subdued to them, and this has to be accepted in all earnestness, because the merit and talent is not gender specific. Certain women can be more intelligent, more talented, more merit oriented than the men. Now this I am telling you for a sort of compromise, adjustability, understanding. Now, when you take charge of your life at the age of 18, you have 63 years of life ahead of you. You have all just completed student community here. You have completed your 18 years. You are in early 20s, broadly early 20s or mid 20s you are into. You have ample life ahead of you to prove whatever you are. Whatever you are, you can prove it. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Whatever you want to achieve, you can achieve, provided you plan your life. Plan your life up to the age of 81, and also schedule your day on each daily basis. So plan your life, PYL. In short, I use a lot of private acronyms of my own. PYL, plan your life and schedule your day. You should have a rigorous schedule for each day, so that throughout your life, up to a minimum of 81, 81 is not the maximum. Let me be very clear, it is only a minimum, over and above. In various meetings, I see people who are octogenarians, means they are in their 80s, 84, 85, like that, more than the 81. So 81 is the, the lowest or the minimum thing. Now, second point, there are only three stages in life, three prime stages of life, three prime stages of life. What are they? Anybody can put in the chart for whatever statement or question I am making, whatever your view, your answer, or even if it is a counter statement also, you can put in the chat. I can see it. Or at the end also, you can respond, react, whatever. There is a difference between respond and react. You can do both. No problem at all. Good, fine. Now, what are the stages of life? One is education, the primary stage of education, and the second stage is and you are into your education. Again, I quote NEP 2020 here 2020. You are into your education phase and you are almost towards the end of your education, maybe another 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. The highest qualification academically one can get is PhD, doctor in philosophy, doctor of philosophy in any given chosen subject. And above that, there is something like PDF, postdoctoral fellowship. To reach that stage, it may take at least a minimum of 28 to 30 years. But the ground reality in our country particularly is that there are school dropouts right from right from the beginning, class 1 onwards, at various classes, in all the classes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10th, 12th, degree, whatever, PG, there is a discontinuous, or we say dropout, school dropout, SDO, college dropout, CDO. This is another thing. Though they are dropping out, that does not mean that among the dropouts also, there are very much intelligent people. They are informally, formal education they may not be have. They have a informal merit and talent. And here also I would like to mention that in schools and colleges, we say front benches and back benches. Front bench students are a bit brilliant, intelligent, and they get a better job. Whereas informally, backbenchers occupy a more pivotal role in the society in the form of a entrepreneur. We are going to talk about the entrepreneurship, so I am introducing that word. Either they turn out to be a good entrepreneurs and employ the first bench people, first bench this one on the first rankers. By this, I am not meaning that you should not be in the first bench, but you should not ignore the last benches. This is the thing. Don't undermine them. Since you are in the first bench and you are raising your hand to answer any of the questions of the professor, you cannot undermine the ability. The ability is much more, it's a combination of your intelligence, intellect, wisdom, worldliness, everything. Right. So this is the thing, education part. Once the education is over, what is the next step in life? NSIL, next step in life. Otherwise, I said WILN. What next in life? What next in life? This question should always be haunting you students, you youth, right from the beginning. As soon as you cross your 18 years or even much below that, what should I do tomorrow? What should I do the next hour? I go to that extent. What should I do the next minute? That should be always be there in your mind. So after education is completed, a stage, a day will come where your parents say that so far so good, we cannot bear any financial burden on you. You be on your own lookout to support yourself. Before they telling that, you yourself should say, hi dad, whatever you have done for me so far, I am quite happy on it. Henceforth, I do not want to trouble you. I take up some part-time job or a full-time job. Start with a part-time job and grow to a regular full-time job. So that is the thing where you are on your standing on your own feet. I think all of you know Telugu. For the beauty of the language, here and there I may use some Telugu sentences. ఎవరి కాళ్ళ మీద వాడు నిలబడాలా, వేరే వాళ్ళ తండ్రి భుజాల మీద చెయ్యి వేసి ఎంతకాలం అని తండ్రి మిమ్మల్ని తీసుకెళ్తారు. ఒక పర్టికులర్ లెవెల్లో యూ హ్యావ్ టు బి ఆన్ యువర్ ఫీట్. దెన్ after education it comes work. Why do we work? We work to earn. Why do we earn? Because unless you earn, unless you get money, you cannot buy anything. Why should we buy daily essential life needs? Without buying, we cannot continue our life. I classify the needs of a human being as NCL. All of you know, necessities, comforts, and a luxurious life. This is one above the other. But minimum, out of necessity also, I say basic necessities and then additional or advanced necessities. Basic necessities everyone requires. Based on their attitude, taste, they may go for advanced necessities, then comforts, then luxuries. But here, we need to practice. It's a suggestion. We need to practice a simple and humble life. Irrespective of the wealth you possess, the amount you earn, it is always gives a lot of satisfaction. You take the example of Ratan Tata. There is no depth of wealth for him, but how he lives, exemplary lifestyle, which impresses, if not all people, many of the people. You take the example of Infosys Narayana Murthy, and more so of his wife Sudha Narayana Murthy. Sudha Narayana Murthy went to Britain when her son-in-law was the prime minister. There, the kind of the dress and the simplicity she was exhibiting, when she said that she has to go to prime minister's house, there the police or other security persons were doubting whether she is really the mother-in-law of this one. They have to verify, then only take her there. You see the simplicity of living. Then okay, what work to earn? Earning is necessary by whatever means. There are means and ends. You can note down these words also. What is the end? You get money. And what is the money? What is the means? We need to work. So what type of work we can do? There are only two routes, ROUTES. There are two routes or ways of earning money. One, being employed, being a paid employee. You work somewhere in a private or a public organization, you get a monthly salary. I introduce one more word. We say wage, wages and salaries. Those who are on permanent role of a company establishment, they get salary on a monthly basis. If not, they get a wage on a daily or weekly or a fortnightly basis, those who are not on the permanent role of the company. This is for just general information I am telling. Otherwise, we are all salaried class employees, we say SCG in short. That is one thing. But whatever is the cadre as an employee, even if you are a civil servant, Group 1 services you have cleared, you are an IAS, IRS, IPS, whatever, you are a paid employee and you have a boss above you always. This is one thing. మనకు తెలుగులో నేను పరిపూర్ణ వ్యక్తిత్వము గల మనిషిని, నేను ఒకరి మోచేతి కింది నీళ్లు తాగను. దట్ ఈస్ ఏ proverbial statement in Telugu. When translate, I don't want a master above me. I want to be a master of my own. That type of thinking some people have. So they do not take up a employment despite having 4 to 5 employment opportunities on their hand. They have got appointment letters from 4 or 5 organizations. This they have undergone the test and interview just to demonstrate to the society and the rest of the world that, oh, I am capable of getting a better employment, but I am not interested in being an employee. I want to do something on my own. That we say entrepreneur. And we are talking about the entrepreneurship today. Entrepreneur. Now, you students of the BTech and MBA, more particularly MBA, even BTech students, you decide whether you want to be a paid employee post your completion of the education, or you want to do something on your own, taking up a self-employment venture, self-employment or self-employment venture, whatever you say. Now a decision you have to take. If you are academically intelligent, getting some job or other in a government, when we say government, there are 3 levels of government: central, state and local bodies. Government, number one. Number two, any public sector company. Number three, any corporate company. Lastly, any unorganized or less organized any company getting a suitable job is not a issue, but there is a ceiling on your monthly income on it. However big your salary is, it could be a lakh of rupees per month, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs a month, but there is a ceiling on it. When you take up entrepreneurship, initially, even if you start with a tea seller, whatever Prime Minister Narendra Modi did in his initial days, even Lal Bahadur Shastri, when he was a Congress party worker, he used to supply tea to the senior leaders. So, what we say, dignity of labor, no job is inferior. This is only some people feel that certain jobs are inferior, nothing like that. But ultimately, what is necessary is that you have to grow your life in match to your potential and the talent, inherent talent that you possess. And if you are not growing, it's a loss not only to you, but to the society as a whole. If you are not growing in potential talent and whatever you earn, either knowledge or money, if you are not sharing with the society, so it's a harm, or at least it's a not help that you are doing either to you or to the self. So what we should do, we should shed. In life, we need to shed certain things and we need to acquire certain things. And this exercise is to be done very frequently, say once in a month or whatever this way, if not daily. You have to shed all unwanted things, all wrong habits, all bad habits, and you have to acquire all sorts of education and all sorts of good things you need to acquire. Through this only you can grow up in life. Now, when you want to be an entrepreneur on your own, you should know certain things. You should study 3 things. You should study SMS, not short message servicing system, but my SMS short messaging service. I do not mean that. My SMS stands for SC Society, a society of which you, me, and everyone is a part of it. And all are in society, and all are also in market, but at various levels. You, me are in market to the extent of, at the lowest level, buying daily needs of life. Nityavasara vastulu, we say in Telugu. Adi konadanike nityavasara vastulu, and when you little cross it, maybe a few more comforts, AC, something like that, such things you purchase, a car, or a little more if you have 1 or 2 luxuries in life, a holiday trip within India or abroad. For this only we earn and spend. Earn and spend, I will come to that, how much we should earn and how much we should spend. Even if I omit anything in my extempore talk, kindly make a note of it, and at the end you can remind me in the form of your question. I will come back to that. Then market, apart from us who just buy as a consumer, there are performance and players. Performers in the market, players of the market. There was a TV serial some time back, Shakers and Movers. The people who shake the market, who move the market, they influence the market, they have controlling state, CS, in several companies. You can note down this word, controlling state. So one is this society, then market. The third is, second time, but the third in the order, S is state. State means government, any government. And what is the role of the government? I told you that there are 3 types of government: central, state, and the local bodies. And the government's work is to be an umpire, UMPIRE, umpire. Of course, they have an empire. but temporarily, if they win the elections, otherwise gone. They are an umpire between society and market to ensure that the market is not unduly exploiting the society, unduly exploiting the society. This you should understand. You students, I am giving you more focus to all the student community here, because you are the what you call gateway of your life, gateway to your life. Here you need to set your basics and fundamentals. Set your basics and fundamentals right. If they are set right, next life journey, professional journey would be much more comfortable. Now, all of us, we need to understand economy. There is an economy at the world level. We say world economy, WE. WE stands for world economy on one side, women empowerment. Time and again I am stressing on women empowerment. Here I share a small my own personal experience. I have two sons and daughter. Both sons are in the engineering, with the engineering background. They are all in their more than 40s of age. My son is an IIT pass out, elder one. He works for Deloitte. He did his BTech from IIT Kharagpur. Second one from REC Calicut. When it came to my turn of my daughter, I have two sons and daughter. I was telling you. She said, I will take medicine. So I made it very clear to myself that on par with my sons, I will make my daughter also study whatever she is interested in, number one, and whatever her capacity allows her to study up to whatever length of time. So maximum 30 years of education at the most, as I was telling you, even if you do a PDF. She took medicine, she passed medicine, and my son-in-law is also a doctor. Both of them are medical doctors in society. This I am not telling to give any boasting for me, but as a general, not to discriminate, because parents discriminate even now, even after a lot of modernity and other things, discriminate between a daughter child and a son child, which we should never do. ఎవరెవరి పొటెన్షియల్ ఎంత ఉందో అంతంత వరకు వాళ్ళని చదివించాలి. అప్పు చేసినా పర్వాలేదు, కొన్నిటికి అప్పు చేయడము, అప్పు అనేది ఇప్పుడు వస్తుంది మనకి డెబిట్ అనేది. when you start your enterprises, from where you should get finances, and that we will be talking about, but I am introducing finance. Two forms లో వస్తుంది. One is equity. If you have own money, it is equity, and if you don't have insufficient equity, you borrow, that we say debt, or more technically we say debentures in the company's language, corporate language. Shares and debentures. Shares is equity, and the debenture is a borrowed money. And education is such an important thing. Whatever amount and time you invest into education of every child in the particularly in the across the world, particularly I am talking about the India, the youth are tomorrow's future. So parents here, here parents are not there, but you can share this with your parents and quote my name also, give my number also to them. I will also directly speak to him where the parents are erring in not investing their effort, their money in the better education of their wards, that early means their children. Now, there is a national economy and a world economy put together, WNG, where my own short form, national economy and world economy. And within economy, there are sectors of economy, SOE. There are various sectors of economy, and of which we say certain core sectors of economy. There are 7 to 8 core sectors of economy, like power, infrastructure, logistics, whatever you say. And under each sector of economy, there are various industries, like milk industry, rubber industry, software industry. So there are approximately, could be around 60 to 70. Approximately, I am telling, information is available galore in the what you call in your Google. Otherwise, information part you can take. I am trying to give a conceptual part only. I am trying to give you. And each of the industries, in each of the industries, there are firms. FIRM, firms mean in general, it's a company. or a player, that we say within the industry. So there, within a given industry, for example, you take an example of software, there are various software companies across the world. There could be a minimum top 100 software companies should be there. Leave the chota mota companies, even if you leave it, top one. These people are players in the industry, or they are the firms industry. Firm as a general word I am using, otherwise particularly we say PF means partnership firm. And any business wants to start business entity, there are various officially recognized structure, composition of the business entity. We say sole proprietary concern. There is only one proprietor. He is all in all for that. That we say concern or proprietary concern or sole proprietary concern. And then we have partnership firm. Partnership firm, we say firm in general has a broader connotation and meaning, and when it comes to partnership firm, the latest modern form of partnership firm is limited liability partnership. When you are going to start any company, you can have one of these business forms. Then we have in sole proprietary concern, the latest development is that you have something called a OPC, one person company. So sole proprietary concern is one thing, OPC is another thing, and then partnership firm or LLP, then you go to a private limited company, then a public limited company. In the meaning itself, private company, limited company means that a limited number of people, the maximum number is 200, the shareholders are limited to a limited group, whereas in public, it is a public offer, we say IPO, it is issued to general public at large. This is the form of business entity when you grow. When you start to small, grow big. This should be the approach to come up in life. Now, in industries also we classify broadly into two: sunset industry, in short SSI. Sunrise industry means certain products in the market. For example, you take landline. Do anybody open a company now to manufacture landlines? No, it's a sunset industry. Typewriters, sunset industry. What is the sunset? Sunrise industries, green businesses, solar power, wind power. This time of the upcoming subjects, we say sunrise industries. For all these things, you need to have a thorough market knowledge, TMK. How do you get it? You have to read newspapers, daily newspaper reading, in short, I said DNPR, whether online or offline. I do not know how many of you are doing this. Kindly do it. If you are not doing so far, start from today itself. Then, certain cards you need to have with you, like Aadhaar card. Now it is almost mandatory. All of you must be having. Just I am just reminding you of, by any chance, if any one of you are not having, you need to have. Then all of you must be having a bank account. If not, kindly open today itself. Bank account is a must. You must be having to get your scholarships or whatever this thing you may be having, but those who are not having. Then voter ID card, you are all majors. You are eligible to vote and have a voter ID card. All these things will serve you not only as a identity card, but also useful in other ways also. Then you should have a PAN card, permanent account number. You should have, even if you are student, if you are not having income also, for the simple reason that if you do not if you want to get a loan from the bank, they ask for last 3 years of income tax returns, ITR, in short, income tax return. Suddenly, how can you produce a 3 years of income tax returns if you are not filing income tax return, for which you need to have a PAN card, and file income tax return, quoting some income and paying a minimum of 100 or 200 of income tax, so that At any point of time in life, you want to borrow for your entrepreneurship a loan from the bank, this will be handy, and paying 100 or 200 income tax is not any big thing. Then you need to be a global level personality, forward looking personality, for which you need to have a passport. I do not know how many of you are passport having here. Those who are not having, kindly have a passport. If you have passport, getting visa will be quicker and easier. But if you have scope to visit, go abroad, and the visa they are able to sponsor, willing to sponsor, but you don't have the passport and hand. Unless you have a passport, visa cannot be given. These are all very rudimentary, elementary things. Most of you may be knowing these things, but still, as a reminder, I am telling you all these things because there are two things: what we know, what we do not know. What we do not know, we need to know. That is step one. What we know, we should get them often reminded by ourselves or through others. This is also very equally important to stay updated. Stay update. Stay update and be a leader, not a lagger. Lead, not lag. And we need to stay update. This is one thing. Now, thinking that now you have chosen the path of entrepreneurship, want to start some activity on your own. On your own. You want to be an entrepreneur. And entrepreneur starts a enterprise. To start anything, you require in economy, MBA students, if you have read, come across some economics, we say factors of productions, FOP in short, factors of productions. There are 4 factors of productions. What are they? One is land, other is labor, third is capital, the fourth is organization, LLCO in short. We will be focusing today more on capital, that is money in short. In our colloquial, this one we say money, technically in management terms we say capital. Some sort of land you need, either a space in a floor or a land on the earth you need to set up any manufacturing unit, or to do any smallest thing also you require a land or space. Then labor. Labor means everyone is a labor, including the CEO of the company, including the Prime Minister. PM himself says that my Pradhan Sevak hum, servant. Servant means labor only. So labor, we should not wrongly go by the meaning that जो हमारे का काम करता है वो labor है. No, everyone is a labor, and labor we do in both forms. One is at the physical level and at the other is at the mental level. Some people have the work more with mind, with less of physical activity, and then in the reverse, less the education. You have to do more physical work, less mental work, but there cannot be a zero physical work and a zero mental work. They go hand in hand. Only the proportion differs. Those who are well educated, well talented, more skilled, they use their mind more. Otherwise, to the extent there is a shortfall in it, you have to physically do a work. This is about the labor part. And I divide the labor as unskilled labor, semi-skilled labor, skilled labor, super skilled labor, an expert worker, and a master. This is the division of the workforce right from scratch to the top, or from the floor to the ceiling level. Floor to ceiling level. This is about the labor. Capital, now money. This is an important thing. We will be dealing rest of the time on this. Before that, I will finish organization first. What is organization means? You can say management. How organized we are. If we are well organized, that is because of the management, and of late many management institutes have come up across the world and more so in India only. Life is itself is subject to management. And what is management? If we take example of two managers, and each manager is given the similar resources, similar set of resources, the manager who is giving a better output with the same resources is the best manager, and his management is the best management, and it goes down. And who is giving the least with the same set of resources, I repeat, those who are giving a least result, lowest result is the least management, or not the best, or a worst management, whatever name you can call, that is about the organization and the management. Now capital. Money is required to do anything. Apart from workforce, LLCO, all these are required. Money is more important. Money in the market, I was telling you, SMS, I was telling you market. There are various markets like commodity markets, money market, capital market, to quote few examples. Then what is the difference between a money market and a capital market? Capital market is for a long term. Money market is for a day up to 364 days or 365, up to 1 year. The maximum limit is 1 year, and it is minimum is day, and even it is a intraday. What is intra? Within a day. What is interday? From today to tomorrow, say 24 hours. Intra is not 24 hours, not. It's a part of it. Morning I will give you, evening you should return back the money. And there are only two players. In any business, in any entrepreneurship, there are only, all are entrepreneurs for that matter. Some are, few are formal, many are informal. And if you lend in the market, that we say money market. There are high net worth individuals. There are various corporates with a pile, P-I-L-E, pile of cash on which they are sitting. They have in their current account in the bank, they have lots, hundreds and thousands of crores of money, which they do not have any intention to immediately invest. I was talking about the savings and investment. I will just finish that and come back to this. You have to earn. Anyone, as a company, as a corporate, or an individual, and we perform only in two forms. One is as an individual, other is as an institution. Only two forms of entrepreneurship or whatever this the way we work. We earn. A company earns, an individual also earns. And what do you do out of the earning? We have to necessarily spend for our living the minimum, whatever minimum spending without which you cannot be, that only part you spend. So E minus S gives you surplus. This is the first level of surplus. Out of this surplus, you save a part of it for urgencies, like children's education expenses, medical expenses, something like that. And the more part, more than the savings you invest. Then what is the difference between savings and investment? Savings for short-term needs, investment for a long-term return. Long-term return, that we say investment. The same way we have, so this is all about the earning, savings, surplus, save, invest. Investment gives you returns. That return also, if they are in a higher level, we say flow back of returns. Flow back of profits, we say, again you reinvest. Invested meant whatever is yielded, that yield also you reinvest. That we say plow, P-L-O-U-G-H. We plow the soil. Plow back of the profits, that we say. That way your wealth goes on increasing. So there is a, in assets also, assets and liabilities, you can note down these words, particularly BTech students, MBA people may be knowing it. We can create a liability. Liability is to borrow. then what you should do, we need to create assets out of liabilities. If it is for that purpose, liability is okay, otherwise liability is meaningless. You are caught in a debt burden, DB. Debt is a burden. Unless you have a right planning and you are borrowing for a right purpose and you have enough, you create enough income to repay the debt. Technically we say DSC or debt service coverage ratio, that we say. If the debt burden goes beyond your level, if you take a load on your head which you cannot bear, you will fall down. Similarly, debt burden leads to your debt trap. I am not frightening you, but I am only cautioning you. Right. Back to money market and capital market. For a day-to-day needs, if we are a cash-rich entity, CRA, entity means person, institution, everything. In general, we say entity. If you are a cash-rich entity, you lend in the market. If you are needing the cash, or cash-poor entity and you require the cash, you borrow. So lending and borrowing constitute the money market on a daily basis to 1 year. Then what is capital market? Capital market, if you borrow in the capital market in the form of issuing a IPO, that is issuing a share certificate, taking a share and issuing a share certificate, or you issue a debenture. You here means a public limited company who issues shares or debentures to the individuals and also institutions. Both can subscribe shares and debentures. We say JSC, Giant Stock Company. What is stock? Stock is a common word which is, under which comes the shares, debentures, and all these things, financial instruments are called stock. Why giant stock? Because many people contribute to it. That's why we say giant stock. And these companies either issue a share certificate if they take shares, or issue a debenture certificates if they take a loan. In the shares also we have equity shares and preferential shares. When the company fails and goes to liquidation for any reason, preferential shareholders will be first paid, and later if anything is left for the equity shareholders. Equity shareholders are the true owners of the company to the extent of the shareholding, and if the company goes into loss, as a pro rata owner, they forego their share value. Now, for a stock-term company, there is something like incubation. We all human beings or all other life beings also were incubated in the womb of the mother for 9 months. Humans, 9 months, when we come out, that is the incubation. Similarly, that is a natural incubation. When we say incubation in our startups and other things, a idea generation. How the idea comes? Out of thought. How your thought develops? By watching the market. I was telling SMS, there is no fourth entity to my knowledge. You observe the society, what is going on. You observe the market. In the market, you have products. There is a demand. There is a surplus, demand and supply. These terms you should know, and you should watch. If you go to shopping, if you buy anything, you should have an interaction with the counter salesman or the owner of this one. From where you are getting this? What is your cost? Cost and the price. The cost is cost of getting it. The price is, what you get on selling it. So we say commerce, trade. CT we say commerce and trade. Business is a general word what we use it. So one is incubation. Then startup. Startup means for the first time if you are doing a business, we use that startup. Otherwise we say first generation entrepreneur. FGE, first generation entrepreneur, means in their family, their fathers, forefathers were either into agriculture or some of job or some small level of these things, but they were never entrepreneurs doing things in a bigger way. That is a first generation entrepreneurs. And if already a father is into some type of business and the son is also not pursuing the same business but doing some other things, still he is an entrepreneur, we say second generation entrepreneur. It so happens that with the change in the generation, a son may not like the profession what their parent or father particularly, even mother also they are doing, but their entrepreneurship is there, the zeal is there, and they take up something different. This is a second generation, this one. And little away from it, there is something like FB, family business. From their forefathers, if they are into a particular business, whatever it is, it could be a trade or a manufacturing. Normally, what is happening is that there are only three sectors in the that contribute to the GDP of a country. There are three sectors, which is agriculture, primarily agriculture, and we cannot be without agriculture because no food, no life. Agriculture at any cost you cannot do away with it. Whatever the new forms of livelihood or new forms of business are coming, you can never wash away or undermine, belittle agriculture. After agriculture, then came with the industrial revolution in the last 400 to 500 years back. Industry, or we say manufacturing, has come up. So there is an agriculture produce that is produced in the field, or a product that is manufactured in the factory, MIF in short, right, manufactured in the factory. Of late, in the 40 years, a third sector of economy has grown up in the form of services. Zomato or this, whatever, any logistics support. More particularly, the brightest example is the consultancy, software, all these things are the services. The contribution to GDP is through these three main sectors only. And when you are an entrepreneur, you can choose any of these things. You can buy an agriculture land of farm of 5 acres. I mean, a viable unit could be 5 acres, even 3 acres also you can do, but 5 could be, I think, fair enough. You can have a what you call agriculture unit, growing something, rearing cattle, you can do that way if you are interested in agriculture, or you can manufacturing setup you can make, or any type of service you can do. Out of this IAS you can take up anything. Now we are coming into money aspect, how you can provide the money. Now there are, I was telling people with cash, those who lend in the money market, if they don't have a long-term investment plans, if once they shift to that, they will not be playing in the market but investing somewhere. So lending in the market, investmenting in a business for a long term, these are the basic differences. Now, as a starter, after doing your BTech or MBA, if you want to do something on your own, before that itself is that for 5 to 6 months or a year, you have to study the market. When I say study the market, it is the studying of the products. What products are faded that you should not touch? What products are current? And they have a current life of say another at least 5 to 10 years, only that products manufacturing you should take up, or such business only you should take up. This is the first step. Then you have to need to prepare a business plan. If it is a small size business, if it is a big size business, you have to prepare one DPR, detailed project report. In the detailed project report, for any project, everything is a project, life is also a project. There is a cost of project, number one. A project costs a few lakhs or a few crores. And the cost of project, to meet the cost of projects, you have to find the means of finance, MOF, put together a set of cost of project and means of finance. So means of finance, the most common is you can take from bank, a public sector bank or a private sector bank you can take. And there is something like venture capital finance. Venture capital, there is something, venture means doing some a risky business which others have not yet attempted. You are doing for the first time. That is called venture. And any venture financier, one who venture capitalists, we say those who finance the venture, or even banks also set apart a fund for financing ventures alone. Almost all the major banks maintain these venture capital funds. Apart from private venture capital financiers, that group is always there. So now venture, anybody will find it little risky. And no business is without risk. For that matter, life is also not without risk. But we need to identify when there is a risk we see in a particular activity, we need to identify the risk. Number one, and we have to cover the risk, or we have to mitigate the risk as and when it crops up. In all major companies, medium to major companies, now a department by name risk management department, headed by a chief risk manager of a rank of not less than general manager, are there. To give a very wide example, insurance is there, for example, both for life as well as for health. This is for humans. And whatever the properties that the humans are owning, a general insurance is there. So life and health and general insurance, this is to cover against the risk that is happening to the life of an individual, or if his health is getting spoiled and he is not in a position to bear the hospitalization expenses. This is the life and health insurance. And forever, whatever is the property that he is having, household property, buildings, lands, whatever, you have various types of general insurance like fire insurance, all those things are there. So risk management techniques, risk mitigation measures, now these are all an important thing. Coming back to sourcing of cost of project and means of finance, banks are the best, and within the bank there is a venture capital fund I am telling, and there are also some private equity funds are there, PGF. Private equity, yes, they have a lot of money with them, and they invest in this one. And there are angel investors. Angel investors, normally they invest their personal high net worth individuals. When we say high net individuals, they have got a net worth. What is net worth? Your total assets minus total liabilities gives the net worth of a person. That HNIs, they are into this angel investment, and they mostly invest in the startup areas. And in exchange for equity, means they participate in the form of a shareholder, high net worth individuals. So this group is called angel investors. They provide mentorship also. Now what is mentorship? A sort of advisory service, technical advisory service relating to the business that you are doing, provide mentorship, and also they provide some industry connections, all those things they do. This is about the angel investors, and the range of investment is reasonably less, in the sense it runs up to crores, but not into hundreds and thousands of crores, maybe a few crores, single digit you can take, few lakhs to few crores, that is the angel investment. Then what is venture capital? The venture capital providers, venture capitalists we say, these are professional groups or firms. Firm I said, generally we use for partnerships also we use partnership firm. Firm means here any company, anyone. Invest in high growth startups. High growth, when we say low, medium and high, these are the standard words we denote to denote the size, we use these words, and they put in small businesses. Invest in large amounts. In relation to angel investors, venture capitals, they invest a lot amount. and normally they invest at a later point of time after the startup stabilizes. Not early startups, or little middle level. Early startups also, so organization in Vijayawada, you have a BYST organization, Bharatiya Yuva Shakti Trust, which is a child organization of CII, Confederation of Indian Industry. You can also visit. They give a hand holding for 2 years of the start. But these venture capitals, they enter into a little advanced stage or mid level they enter. Funds from institution investors. So ultimately they work as a financial intermediary. I would also intend to share with you a platform called Pitch Drive, PITCH, Pitch Drive, DRIV. If anybody is aware of it, I am closing in another couple of minutes. Somebody wants to say something? I will be closing in a couple of minutes and then I will be open for Pitch Drive. Pitch Drive is the intersection of angel investors and venture capital. In between, this is a platform. They streamline fundraising process, how to raise the funds. And whatever we borrow, we have to pay interest. And whatever shares we issue, we have to pay the dividend. The share seeker or the money seeker. So this is about the pitch drive also. So I stop here and I am here to take up your questions. And already in the chat, anybody has questions, Venkat may kindly, Venkat or any other organization, organizers, they may raise questions on the student participants.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So some cases
There is some break in the.
Sir, there is because we have power interruption, sir.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Okay.
Yeah.
You can put in the chart also.
No, sir. There is. There is a power outage, sir. There is a power outage, sir.
I get it. You can put in the chart. Somebody can read it out from the chart. I will try to respond to the questions. Messages you can put, sir. I'll be seeing the messages and you can also, otherwise you can read out also. Am I audible? Mr. Srujan.
Yes, sir. Sir will disconnect it due to the net problem, sir. Power cut is there.
Aviskar, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the name I am able to see here. You can ask, madam. Anything on behalf of your students, any question you can ask.
Students, anybody interested to ask questions, please unmute yourself and ask the resource person. No questions from students' side? Students, any questions from your side? Okay.
Putting the right questions. Question seeker, అంటే క్వశ్చన్ అడిగేవాడే కాకుండా హిస్ క్వశ్చనింగ్ షుడ్ హెల్ప్ ద అదర్ పీపుల్ ఆల్సో. With that in mind, the question should be as tough as possible to the speaker, and at the same time it should be quite meaningful. It's worthwhile, not just
Yes, sir.
not for the sake of.
Yeah, right. I hope there are also any students who can take any questions with regard to your about the climate. Yes, students are requested to please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, students. No, not you, sir. I'm requesting and students, sir.
Okay.
Madam, hello.
Yes, sir.
Madam, MBA students this event about MBA students who are putting
Sir, thank
so
you.
MBA.
Thank you for. Sir,
Okay.
thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your contribution of time and valuable things you shared with our students, sir. Those things are useful for the students much and much. Those who are interested to go their angel investors, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Hello, sir. I will entertain you. There is a power outage issue, sir.
Oh, got it.
Student.
I understand. I understand.
Sorry for the
Okay.
the last one.
Okay. So thank you, everybody. Faculty. Good wishes to
Sir,
you.
suppose with regard
Thank you, sir. Thank you, students. Thank you, everyone.
Right, Amma.
Okay,
Right.
sir.
I
Okay.
can leave. Yeah.
Ah, yes,
Thank you.
sir.